giving a tweet right after the fight. Any response to Terence Crawford, who had something to say?
Yeah, we ain't worried about it. We retired. You know, we focus on tasking and taking over this division. We ain't worried about no retired fighters.
Yeah, y'all keep on throwing Terence up. Terence, he retired. Leave Terence alone. Let him do what he's supposed to do. You know what I mean? Have fun and enjoy his family.
Boot.
He made the statement. Who that?
Blood made the statement. Sorry.
All of them. I don't care who make the statements. You know what I mean? I'm just telling you, like.
When you saw that he brought in Jaron, what was your reaction? Like your first initial reaction when you saw that news?
I actually didn't see it. Somebody showed me, and I was just like, "So what that mean? He's not me."
Yeah.
You know, as much as a lot of people, you know, say we have similarities, and you know we switch a lot and we fight a lot. He's not me, you know, and I'm not him. So.
But you were on the show with Gilly, and he mentioned a bunch of names and just said, you know, are they going to be easy work or not? You said easy work to everybody, including Terence Crawford. You know, obviously he's had comments to Gilly about saying, you know, that he tried to make a fight with you. You were too young at the time. That's what your team said. Do you think any of this talk gets to a point where you get him to come out of retirement and face you?
I don't even care about that. I ain't gonna lie. I'm locked in on Xander Zayas. I'm asking nothing else about nobody else. I'm Xander Zayas.
Jaron Boots Ennis delivered a dominant performance at Brooklyn's Barclays Center on Sunday, stopping Xander Zayas in the 7th round via technical knockout to silence his doubters once and for all. The victory should have shifted the spotlight toward potential blockbuster matchups with the likes of Sebastian Fundora or Virgil Ortiz, but instead, the conversation took an unexpected turn toward Terence Crawford, a fighter who officially stepped away from the sport several months ago. The friction between Ennis and Crawford is no secret, with the Philadelphia native having repeatedly called out the Nebraska legend prior to his retirement. This time around, though, it appeared to be Crawford himself who stirred the pot, seemingly intent on casting a shadow over Ennis's moment as the newly crowned unified champion.
So Terence Crawford, he was tweeting something after the fight, you know, being coy, like not commenting on it, but seeming to throw his version of some shade. I mean, what's your thoughts on?
I don't care what nobody say, man.
Yeah.
I don't care. That don't bother me. Just like when y'all talk, I don't care what y'all say.
Yeah.
Not even me, man.
I don't care what none of y'all say because I speak the truth. You know what I mean? You know, you don't see us cussing and calling people out. Some of them don't know this, they don't know that. We don't do that. You know what I mean? We just come to fight.
Jaron Boots Ennis walked away with a statement win. But before diving into the heated back and forth with Terence Crawford, it's worth breaking down exactly how he got the job done inside the ring. The major storyline heading into the bout centered on whether the youthful Xander Zayas, only 23 years old, could push Ennis into uncharted territory and test his endurance under pressure. That question received a loud and alarming answer in the 3rd frame, when the Puerto Rican contender unloaded a vicious right hand that jolted the entire arena. For a handful of tense moments, Ennis found himself hurt, pinned against the cables, and fighting purely on instinct to stay upright. Spectators held their breath, suddenly uncertain whether the rising star's momentum was about to come to a crashing halt. Rather than folding under the strain, however, Ennis absorbed the punishment, reset his approach, and transformed the contest into a grueling war of attrition, dropping his opponent 3 times before the final bell. That single round alone ignited fierce discussion among fans and analysts alike. Did Zayas uncover a legitimate vulnerability in the newly crowned champion's defense? Or did Ennis simply reinforce what many already suspected, that his ability to take a punch is as sturdy as iron?
Boots, congratulations. What was going through your mind in the 3rd round? What was going through your mind in the 3rd round?
I was chilling, cool, calm, collected.
Nothing? Gotcha. Do you still want to be undisputed? Is the goal?
Most definitely, undisputed for sure.
Boots.
Oh, wait.
Hold on, wait to the mic, yeah.
Hey, Boots, Radio Raheem down in the front. Did I hear you correctly? Because sometimes I can't hear in the arena. Did you say that you weren't hurt in the 3rd round?
No, I was chilling. You know, I just a little lazy on the inside. Got quoted a good shot, but I was cool. Yeah.
Did you feel like that 3rd round was the toughest round of your fight career thus far?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm cool, calm, and collected. You know, when it's madness going on, I just get calm. You know, and just be patient.
I mean, I ask you these questions because, granted, you know, you stopped him in the 7th. It was a tremendous performance, but from the audience side, it looked like a tough fight. It didn't look easy. It didn't look, you know, like a walkover.
Yeah.
Where do you rate this fight competition-wise?
Oh, solid competition. Xander, a great fighter. Hope he okay. Yeah, you know, if he move up to 60 or stay at 54, I think he'll be a champion again.
Once the official waved off the contest and the chaos subsided, the entire boxing community paused, anticipating that Ennis would seize the moment and call out the division's top names. As soon as the microphone arrived in front of him, that's precisely what went down. Staring straight into the lens, he made it crystal clear that he was gunning for a showdown with Vergil Ortiz, vowing to snatch every remaining title and establish total dominance over the weight class.
Joe came out and said that he was going to sleep you. So I just want to know your comments on those.
Why he ain't take the fight in the beginning? You know what I'm saying? Bro, I ain't be talking, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I'm trying to tell you, I'm really different. He gonna see firsthand. Cause he gets hurt a lot. He flat-footed and he been dropped multiple times. When he get hit by me, it's gonna be different. I'm trying to tell y'all.
What would you grade your performance today?
My performance today, I gotta go back and watch it. I'll probably give myself like a C though. I know I'm way better than that, you know. And like a C plus, you know. I'm way better than that, you know. I was into the corner a little bit, not too much, you know. They was telling me to do speed, and I was one shot popping. You know, it's the shots that you don't see. I should have been using a little bit more speed, but you know, everything is gonna be good. You know, we're gonna go back to the, you know, the lab and get ready, you know, and you know, take over this division. Sharpen up.
Following the final bell, Ennis didn't take the bait that reporters had carefully set during the post-fight press gathering, sidestepping the narrative the media had so deliberately crafted. Leading up to the bout, observers had already begun stacking him alongside Crawford, with journalists doing everything in their power to coax the veteran icon back from retirement and into a colossal showdown against boxing's newest unified super welterweight title holder.
As great as Boots Ennis is, I still don't think he's getting the respect from a lot of hardcore boxing fans. They're like, yeah, he looks good, he switches stances. We saw what he did in his last fight, but it was against a no-hoper. This is feels like the moment for Boots. Not only do I think he has to win this fight, I think he needs to dominate and separate himself from Xander Zayas and say, look, this guy's not even on my level. I'm at the Terence Crawford level. That's the level of fighter I am. He has a chance to prove that. He's got to be dominant. He's got to be sensational. And I certainly think he can do it.
To fully grasp the angle the media was pushing, it's essential to identify the main force operating behind the scenes. Promoter Eddie Hearn of Matchroom Boxing. In the days leading up to the bout, Hearn's master plan found its way to the public. He had openly confessed that his ideal outcome involved Ennis thoroughly dismantling the unbeaten Zayas, claiming the unified titles, and then leveraging that enormous platform to lure Terence Crawford out of his hiatus. Hearn fully understood that provoking a fighter who had happily stepped away from the sport was no easy task, yet he wagered that a career-defining performance would generate enough buzz to compel Crawford to reconsider. Although Ennis deviated from the script entirely by naming Ortiz as his preferred opponent, Hearn and the surrounding media chose to overlook that detail completely. Instead, they relentlessly steered the conversation back toward Crawford, determined to will into existence the biggest payday the division could possibly offer.
You know, Terence is only going to fight Boots if there's loads of money on the line, because he knows how good Ennis is, and he's not going to fight anymore unless it's for a lot of money. So we have to do what we say. We have to prove the quality of Ennis, and he has to earn his shot against Crawford. But that is the fight that I look at in 9 to 12 months' time, 3 fights down the line. And I think US fight fans are going to be crying out for that fight. Like, you imagine if we beat Lima on Saturday, we beat Ortiz, you know, we beat Fundora or Mertzalayev or Zayas. Everyone will be calling for Ennis v Crawford.
I think a lot of fans are crying for that now.
They have been for years.
Yeah.
But the reality is we still need to, it's not, I think everyone who, like I say, everybody that knows boxing.
Yeah, boxing fans.
One that knows how good Ennis is what a fight. That is unbelievable. But still, you got to educate people that Ennis is as good as I say he is. Right? And you do that by beating the champion. So we've got work to do.
The narrative wasn't helped when Crawford decided to take a jab at Ennis following his emphatic victory. In a post-fight social media post, he wrote, "Emma, I'll keep my thoughts to myself, but y'all understand what I mean." It became quite evident that Crawford simply can't stay away from the controversy. The responses poured in from all directions, with one camp of supporters urging the veteran to end his hiatus and settle the debate over who truly reigns supreme once and for all. On the flip side, critics were quick to remind everyone of Crawford's near miss against Israel Madrimov during their junior middleweight unification bout. Still, a sizable portion of his own fan base expressed frustration over his decision to reignite the feud at that particular moment. As for Ennis, he appears entirely unfazed by the constant comparisons being drawn between himself and the former champion. Even before stepping into the ring, he had already made it clear that he didn't expect Crawford to reverse his retirement decision, but assured anyone listening that he would be more than willing to welcome the challenge if it ever materialized. He has also brushed aside the ongoing parallels people continue to make, insisting that his identity as a fighter stands apart from the legendary figure in every meaningful way.
Boots, you were on the show with Gilly, and he mentioned a bunch of names and just said, are they going to be easy work or not? You said easy work to everybody, including Terence Crawford. Obviously he's had comments to Gilly about saying, that he tried to make a fight with you. You were too young at the time. That's what your team said. Do you think any of this talk gets to a point where you get him to come out of retirement and face you?
I ain't care about that. I ain't gonna lie. I'm locked in on Xander Zayas. Don't ask me nothing else about nobody else. I'm Xander Zayas. That's it.
Crawford?
I don't know. He retired, so that's what he doing right now. He in retirement, he chilling, so we'll see. If he come out, we'll see.
You said you're different than even him or any other fighters, but what is different about Jaron Ennis than a Terence Crawford or anyone else for that matter, but specifically Terence?
I'm just different. Y'all know I'm different. Y'all gonna see on Saturday. The way I just carry myself, the way I fight, just my skills, my ability, defense, everything. Y'all gonna see. These guys don't do what I do.
Even at the most recent media gathering, Ennis wasted no time brushing aside any Crawford-related inquiries, steering the discussion right back toward his showdown with Zayas. His father, Busazi, also stepped in and firmly insisted that the pair be allowed to focus without the constant outside noise.
Hearing about Terence Crawford throughout the build-up to this fight, but he did tweet something that definitely seemed like in relation to this fight without saying much, but given a tweet right after the fight, any response to Terence Crawford, who had something to say?
Yeah, we ain't worried about retired. We focus on task and taking over this division. We ain't worried about retired fighters.
Yeah, y'all keep on throwing Terence up. Terence, he retired. Leave Terence alone. Let him do what he's supposed to do. Have fun and enjoy his family.
The statement. He made the statement.
Who that?
Blood made the statement.
They all make the statement. All of them. I don't care who make the statement. You know what I mean? I'm just telling you like it is.
That's another fight.
Yeah.
Right.
Boots Bosey, man, congrats. Hell of a fight, hell of a performance, man. Question, were you more shocked that he made it out of that first round assault or that he got up from that perfectly placed, the second knockdown? Were you more shocked that he got up from that or made it out of the first round?
I don't know.
The world wants to know.
The first knockdown, I wasn't trying to really rush it. I knew he a game fighter. He got good fundamentals. He's a solid fighter, and he was a champion for a reason. So you can't just go in there and rush it and try to get the knockout. You gotta be patient, and that's what I did. So, but the second knockdown, I definitely thought he was going.
While fans remained locked in debate over the ongoing saga, unbeaten champion Shakur Stevenson stepped in with a viewpoint that completely turned the conversation on its head. Instead of feeding into the frenzy surrounding that tense third-round moment, Stevenson chose to highlight the sheer brilliance woven throughout Ennis's overall display, countering those who argued that the Philadelphia standout had absorbed unnecessary punishment. Shakur made it clear that the defensive awareness and ring control on exhibit were nothing short of elite-level craftsmanship. In fact, he went so far as to draw a parallel between Ennis's precision and a vintage, flawless performance from Floyd Mayweather. When one of the sport's most skilled technicians openly compares your work to a Mayweather-esque masterclass, it suddenly casts serious doubt on Crawford's bold talk about putting an end to Ennis's rise.
And, obviously we're here in Philadelphia, Boots Ennis, Eddie, a couple other people, called Boots the natural successor to Terence Crawford, and obviously I know your relationship with him. Do you feel that high on Boots as well, or?
Hell yeah, I think Boots is a hell of a fighter. I don't know about the natural sensation, whatever that is to Terence Crawford. I think Boots is his own fighter, Terence is his own fighter, but I think they both hell of a fighters. I've been around Boots for years, and he's the truth.
Boxing reporter Sean Zittel also weighed in on the ongoing tension between Crawford and Ennis. He acknowledged that he had previously advocated for the two to meet inside the ring, though Crawford's decision to walk away from a sport makes that clash increasingly unlikely. Still, Zittel expressed belief that it would have been something truly special, even with Crawford entering as the clear frontrunner, given his two-fisted versatility, quickness, and knockout capability. Attributes that have always made him a dangerous puzzle for anyone. Turning his attention to Zayas, the journalist praised the young Puerto Rican showing, labeling him an undeniable prospect and voicing optimism about what lies ahead in his journey.
That being said, Ennis has always been a special talent. And there was a time him and Benavidez were my favorite fighters to watch in the sport, that I was always banging the drum for them to get the shots against Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford. It never happened. Terence threw some shade after the fight, which is, between them. I don't think the fight will ever happen, but I think that fight could have been special once upon a time, even if Crawford was the favorite, deservedly. Ennis's speed and power, being ambidextrous like Crawford, he was a threat to Crawford and always will be if Crawford's ever thinking of getting back in the ring, especially at this age. But there came a time where Ennis's career was stalling out a little bit. He unifies, he becomes the welterweight champion against Stanionis, but welterweight became thin and the lightweights moved up once he left, really. And welterweight just wasn't as talent rich as it was. He wasn't getting the big fights for a few different reasons. But now he's not only back in business, his stock is higher than ever. He had a great ring walk with Jadakiss, and the crowd in Brooklyn really loved him and took to him. There's a lot of Puerto Ricans here tonight, but it was really about 50-50, maybe 60-40, you could argue, for Zayas. But he drew a lot of fans in Brooklyn tonight, too, who all loved his performance. So he's never been bigger as a draw. He still showed just enough vulnerability to get the other top guys to want to jump in the ring with him. And sure, he'll have to tighten some things up against those guys, but his talent is just undeniable. And
Ennis's promoter, Eddie Hearn, also responded to remarks made by Virgil Ortiz Sr., who suggested that Jaron Boots Ennis still had work to do in order to earn a crack at his fighter. Hearn was quick to point out that Ennis has now established himself as a unified champion across two weight divisions, which means he no longer needs to chase anybody or validate his standing in the sport. While the door remains wide open for a blockbuster collision with Ortiz, especially given that they had previously agreed to square off even when no championship was on the line, purely for the fans. Hearn made it clear that the primary focus right now is on completing the collection. The ultimate goal, he explained, is to secure the remaining IBF and WBC straps and achieve undisputed status in the division.
You said that you guys need to do more to earn a fight with him. Do you think tonight was enough?
Yo, what? I don't know what you talking about.
He said that. Who said that?
Listen, I'm for. Listen. That was before tonight, right? Yeah. Listen, we don't need to prove nothing. We don't need to chase a fight with Virgil.
It was more than enough.
Yeah, okay. But what I'm saying, listen, we're not getting into that. What I'm saying is, listen, and I said this before Boots come in. We are not going to sit there with full of arrogance like some people would right now and say, tough luck Virgil Ortiz, he's the unified world champion, he's a superstar of the sport, get in line and take your 15% for a voluntary defence. That's what some people would say if they were arrogant. What we say is, we love the big fights, but we took that Virgil Ortiz fight, he signed for that fight, right? We took that fight for no belt. We took it for the fans to prove he was the best. Unfortunately for Virgil Ortiz, the team, everybody, Everett, Sean, we did an unbelievable job to land the unified world championship. And now he's the unified world champion. So, sorry Virgil, in a way, we want to be undisputed. But we don't rule out that fight. It's a big fight. But he's about legacy. As he said, it's a legacy tour.
Veteran trainer and analyst Teddy Atlas also offered his take on Ennis following the impressive victory, finally extending the recognition that many felt was long overdue. According to Atlas, the unified champion has silenced every doubter and firmly established himself as a legitimate star in the sport. In his view, the stage is now perfectly set for Ennis to step up against the division's biggest names and prove to the entire boxing world that he is the fighter no one wants to face.
A star is born, right? There's that name we've been talking about.
No. I'm going to correct you on this one. He's been a star, but it's been confirmed.
Yeah, there you go.
Is that fair?
Yeah.
It's been confirmed that he should be a star.
Absolutely. That was
he earned
impressive.
He earned it.
You said, too, he got tested. He showcased his skills, his speed.
He got tested.
He's got the goods. Yeah. Now everybody's going to talk about what we mentioned earlier. Is Fedora next? Who's next?
And they can also say they took this fight too soon, which, the seasoning, he wasn't mature enough. But I'll tell you one thing. He fought the worst kind of fight, game plan. Showed heart. I applaud him. But behaved like a fighter, like a champion. But that's not, my God almighty.
That's terrible.
Oh, my
terrible.
God.
That's how you shorten a 23-year-old fighter's career. I mean, you just took a lot of punishment.
And we were accurate with the reports every day. We got to pick one.
Listen, we've been over 70% at the ropes. You're not going to win them all. You won 7 out of the last 8 coming in.
The super welterweight division is absolutely buzzing right now. And Jaron Ennis is the one holding all the heat. He stepped into enemy territory, weathered the toughest stretch of his entire professional journey, and emerged with unified championship status while the entire globe looked on. Yet the true triumph goes beyond the hardware now draped over his shoulders. It lies in the fact that he has the whole boxing world locked in debate over a matchup that hasn't even been officially announced. Did Ennis deliver the kind of unforgettable showing that could coax Terence Crawford out of a peaceful retirement for one final showdown? Or did that harrowing third-round scare give the veteran all the evidence he needs to stay far away from the division's new ruler? Whichever way it shakes out, the outcome could reshape the sports landscape in a major way. We want to hear where you stand on the Crawford-Ennis conversation. Would you be interested in seeing them settle things inside the ropes? Drop your take in the comments section. That wraps things up for today. If you enjoyed this one, don't forget to drop a like, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss what's coming next. Appreciate you watching, and we'll see you right back here for the next one.